everyone, I am here with my 2-month Operation Don't Be Fat update, and I'm excited because I've made some progress, but I do have like real struggles like everybody else. And again, I'm not overanalyzing exactly how I'm going to do these videos and what I'm going to say and not say. I'll just kind of give an update overall of what's been going on over the last month, and then try to talk about some goals. So just to start out, I have lost a total of 11 pounds since I started. And how much did I lose by the time I made that last video? I forgot to check how much I had lost by the time I made the video. I'm going to, let's see. I started this journey on March 5th. And so I had talked about in the last video how it, like, should I do real numbers or not real numbers and whatnot. And I'm just going to go ahead. I think that's more simple than just kind of like beating around the bush. So that weigh-in day on March 5th, I weighed in at 190, and I weighed in the next time on March 15th. And so I went like a week and a half without weighing, and that was because you weigh in once a week, but I wanted to make my weigh-in on Saturday morning. So the first time I went to a meeting, it was like at night, one night, and I was like, I don't want to weigh in at night. I want to do it first thing in the morning. So that's why there was a little bit of that break. And that first weigh-in was 186.2, which is down 3.8 pounds. And I kind of feel like that I probably either wasn't 190 or I didn't lose as much, just because that first time I weighed in, it was cold, so I was wearing heavier clothes and shoes. And so that next time that I weighed in, I wasn't wearing as much, and I took off my shoes to weigh in, and so I felt like that I probably didn't lose as much. And so I'm like, oh, I lost, 3.8. I think I probably lost a little bit less, but just judging from what it is 3.8. The next week was March 22nd, and I didn't lose anything, so I stayed the same. And I talked about that, how like it was a struggle to really get going. The next week was March 29th, and I lost 2.2 pounds. And the week after that was April 5th. And so I think that's where we started, was I did my April video. I did like, this is what I've been doing for the last month. And I lost 1.2 pounds. So that brings me down to 182.8. And then April 12th, I lost 1.6. And that also, I'm doing Weight Watchers. So that's why, like, they give you this book, which I really like, because each week they put in what you lost and what your target is. And so when I weighed in at 190, my 5% target is 10 pounds, my 10% target is 19 pounds. And when I started, my daily point total, like for points in a day that I could use, was 30. And then it goes down as you lose weight. So for the whole month of March, I was able to have 29 points. But then once I got down to 181.2 pounds, it went down to 28 pounds. So that next week, the 19th, and I didn't lose anything, so I maintained, which was good. I haven't had a gain yet, so that was 181.2. So on April 25th, that week I had lost 1.4 pounds, which brought me down to 179.8, and that's 10.2 pounds. So I was like, yes, and I got my little like 5% sticker because I met my 5% goal. And then that weekend I was away at the beach, and so I did make conscious decisions, but I also splurged more than I normally would have let myself. And so I was worried that I was going to have a gain, and I actually lost 0.8. So I was excited about that. So that brings me down to 179 even, for a total of 11 pounds. So that is 11 pounds lost as of May 3rd, and I started March 5th. So that's my 2 months. I've lost 11 pounds. Whew. But this last week has been hard. Like that is the honest truth about it. I was doing pretty well, like losing consistently, like an average of a pound a week. I did have 2 different weigh times that I didn't lose anything. And I haven't gotten 100% into the whole gist of like having my meal plans planned out, and I think that that's what I need to focus more on, is making sure that I am being consistent with meal planning. And I really struggle with that. My big struggles are I never really learned how to cook in general, let alone healthy, and have it taste good. Because if you're eating healthy and it doesn't taste good, you're not going to be motivated to continue to eat that way. So you need to feel like you're being satisfied. And the last 2 weeks, I've not done that great at that because life, just slack off. And my mentality is more along where I'm like, when I start to mess up, I kind of give up. And that was something I struggled with, and I'm really glad that I'm doing Weight Watchers, because I was able to say something and have like a group to talk to, and just have that motivation of like, you know, you just pick back up and you do it over again. And that's so easy to say, but like when you have like that type of mentality and you're really struggling, it's hard to actually get back up on the horse and continue on and not let the bad days spiral out of control. And so now I just need to pick it back up, make better choices, move on from that, which is hard when you love chocolate and junky stuff. But I do want to feed my body better as well, just as far as nutrition goes. So I just have to make sure that I have that balance. Something that I like to treat myself to that isn't a crazy amount of points is I like iced coffee, except I like it with cream and like flavorings. So the coffee that I get is 3 points, and so that's something that I kind of allow for. And I figured out if you do a certain amount of activity, you can have activity points, and so if you do enough activity, you can have more points, I guess, to eat. And I have been using my Fitbit that I mentioned, and I haven't filmed the video like using that yet because I'm still trying to use it to the best of its capabilities. And for the most part, I habitually put this on every morning. Today I forgot to. There's only been a couple days that I've forgotten to. But even with like being conscious about doing more steps, I still have a hard time reaching 5,000. And ultimately, like the average that's recommended is to get 10,000 steps a day. And I have a hard time getting 5,000, but I've really been pushing to get 5,000. And I was really surprised that on that beach weekend that I didn't reach 10,000, just because we did a lot of walking. We walked to the beach and back. But I did get, it was like the most that I've gotten so far, and that's 7,500 steps. And after you reach when you reach 5,000 steps, you get an activity point, and then you get like an activity point for each 1,000. So if you do 10,000 steps, you have 4 activity points, and you don't have to use them. And you don't even have to use your weekly allowances. But I find that if I don't have little splurges, I will go absolutely outside of my mind. So I do allow myself some like little splurges. You just don't want to go over, above, and beyond. So I need to just pick back up. There's a website called Skinny Taste, and she has like all her recipes have the point values, and that's what I've kind of been going to because I don't have to worry about calculating out the recipes. The last 2 weeks, like I said, have been hard, so I haven't been meal planning. I was a little frustrated that I went shopping like with full intentions. I had my list of foods that I needed, and then it ended up going bad. I pack too much into my day every day that I find that I don't end up having the time to cook all these meals. And so that's something that I need to do, is I need to stop filling my day with things to do. But it's tempting when you have friends that you want to see and you want to go hang out with them. That sounds a lot more fun than cooking. To me, some people really enjoy cooking, and that's very fun for them. I really enjoy spending time with friends and talking and having the kids interact, because it's definitely hard. Like when you have children, they don't want to sit there and watch you cook, they want to play. So I need to get better at the meal planning and then prepping the meals, and that's a hard thing because sometimes I have a hard time looking ahead at like what needs to be prepped when, but that way it doesn't take you as long to cook. And then also just having more balance in my life where I'm not out of the house all day long, but that I'm home and just creating a home, because that is my job. I am a stay-at-home mom, but a part of that job is to take care of the house, and I'm not like saying that I need to be perfect, but I do feel like I just need to be better at, you know, doing the cooking and whatnot, where I'm not. So I need to be better at that, and hopefully when I do that, then I'm also caring for myself mentally and physically. What else? Other than that, I feel like Weight Watchers is really workable, and it kind of makes me feel like I have permission to have some splurges, where you can tell yourself that, but I think seeing it in like numbers really helps me, and seeing it in smaller numbers versus calories really helps me, and having the support, going to the meetings and knowing that I'm not the only one who thinks this way and has that mental block that I need to get over is really helpful, because a lot of times I feel like I'm crazy because I just, like, my brain just goes a million miles a minute, and I'm so hard on myself, and that's what I need to like stop doing, is I need to love myself more and stop being so hard on myself. Where I know if a friend were talking to me and telling me like, oh, I had a really bad week and I didn't do too well and I'm afraid that I, you know, gained or I didn't eat as healthy, I'd be like, that's okay. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Like, you know, let's do better. But when it's myself, it's like, why can't I take that and absorb it into my brain? My husband has been really supportive of it, which is so helpful. So like when I'm kind of hard on myself, he's loving and nurturing, and really helps me to think more positive, and so that's good. And then I've let a couple of my closer friends know what I'm doing, so they're aware that when I'm like analyzing what we're eating or where we're eating, they know. They're not like, why is she like, you know, trying to figure out points and whatnot. And so it's nice to have people around you know what you're doing, and they can help be supportive for you. It was something that I didn't want to have to admit that I had a problem with or that I needed help with, but now that I find that it's a little bit easier, that I finally just said it out loud. I have a problem with food, and that's what's going on. The fact that I've made progress is a really good push for motivation. You know, when you're making changes and you don't see any changes, it can be really just unmotivating. You don't want to do it. You want to see the results. And even though it's been slow results, it's better than no results. The weeks that I didn't lose, instead of like being like, oh man, I didn't do enough, I am celebrating the fact that I didn't gain anything. And so I'm just trying to change that mindset. And then the next week I'll have a little bit of a loss, and that's great. Those are the changes that I am slowly making. What else I need to do is I need to start measuring myself, because I know that the scale isn't completely accurate. You need to have measure. You might be changing your body shape and things might be fitting differently, but you don't see it reflected on the scale. So I need to do that. And then one of my goals for last month was to go to yoga, and I did not go to yoga this month. But what I did do finally is I did go shopping and I got something to wear to yoga, because that was one of the things I didn't really have workout clothes. I have yoga pants, but they're the kind that are like loose fitting and they open up at the bottom. So if you're actually doing yoga poses, your pants would probably ruffle up around your knees or something. So I went and I bought actual like yoga pants. They kind of suck you in, which was nice, because you feel like things are all nice and scrunched. And I bought them from Old Navy. And when I went to buy them the first time, I bought them in a top as well. And when I got home that day, there was an email for 20% off. So I took them back and I used the 20% off coupon. Plus one of the tops that I bought was on clearance at a different Old Navy. So I got that price adjusted. So I got some money back. I was excited for that, because I love to save money and find a deal. But now that I actually have something to wear and I feel good in it, I am more motivated to go. And I didn't spend a lot of money. You don't have to go out and buy Lululemon. You can find stuff. I also saw some tops at Target on clearance, and I have bigger breasts, so I do find it harder to find tops that will be supportive. I don't want to wear like a super stiff sports bra, the ones that you use for running, but I don't want something so loose that my boobs are just kind of like bleh. I want them to be in place and not fall out while I'm working out. But yeah, so I might go and find some of those, and then I just need to force myself to make the appointment and go. Stop procrastinating. So things are a little bit up in the air as far as, because a part of me is like, oh, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Because we might make a trip to California, not like a whole summer's worth of a trip, but just a trip. But I'm trying to work all that out. I don't know what's happening or when it's happening. It just might be happening. So that might be to come. So what else? I'm just trying to work on getting the fruits and vegetables in. I need to make more smoothies. I did buy some stuff off of Vitacost so that I can prepare some yummy smoothies, and just trying to be more active. So I am outside more, and Winnie and I planted some flowers, so we'll spend time outside gardening, and that does count as activity. I'm not like up running around in circles, but I am, you know, getting activity in there, and now I just need to be consistent, make sure that I'm getting more and more activity, meeting my goals. Yeah, and that's it for this month. We'll see how this next month goes. Hopefully it'll continue to go better. So I'm just overcoming mental blocks, overcoming negative thinking, and continuing to progress. I'm really proud that I've begun to make changes. I'm really proud that there was progress. Yeah, so if I know that a few of you said that you were going to be doing this right along with me, whatever healthy changes you wanted to make, and it doesn't necessarily have to be weight loss. It could just be your activity levels. I would love to hear how this last month has been for you. Did you meet any of your goals? Do you have any goals that you want to meet for the month of May? You can leave them down below, and we can just talk about it and interact, and yeah, continue on and making progress in whatever area it is that we want to make progress in. So I hope that you guys are all doing well, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.